Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show. Autumn is here. It's your host, Francine Crawford. And today we have a special guest, Stacey J. She is a caregiver to a mom and she wants to share her story. So let's welcome her to the show. Welcome, Stacey.
Hi, thank you for having me. So my name is Stacey J, and I am a caregiver to my mom, a new caregiver to the journey. I also have a skincare line, and I do project management. I mean, we met talking about caregiving, and I know that this is a new journey for me, and it's been very interesting. It's been very interesting.
Well, let's talk about at what point did you become a caregiver and why? What was the circumstance?
So I knew that my mom's 80 and I knew that she was starting to forget things a little bit through the years. And in my mind, I knew that, one day she may have to come stay with me. But I didn't know when that was, and because she lived in Chicago, I live in Atlanta. When I talked to her on the phone, overall, she sounds fine beside the repeating and asking something over and over. So January of this year, the end of January, she called and she was like, my chest is hurting. So I'm thinking, oh my God, is she having a stroke? So she has that life alert button. And I was like, push the button. So the ambulance gets her, takes her to the doctor and finds out she has like COPD. And COPD is from smoking all your life. Right. And then fractured compressed osteoporosis. And then she has that Alzheimer's, dementia a little bit. She's not fully gone, right? But I think I would say it's more short-term than long-term memory. So that was the end of January. She's in the hospital. So I'm trying to figure out, do I need to go up there right now or, towards like, what are we doing? What's happening with her? So they had said that she can't live alone anymore. And it was like, what do you mean? Like alone or whatever. So when I went up there, they did a psych evaluation and said, like she doesn't know the year, she doesn't know the president, but she knows her brothers and sisters and she knows. So all of a sudden, this is like when the record goes, and I'm thinking, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared financially. I'm not prepared, physically, meaning to bring her into my home. I don't know nothing, so I get up there. They were going to put her in a nursing home. And I'm thinking, well, if she's going to be in a nursing home, I would prefer her to be here because this is where I am. My sons are, and we can get to her and we can be a part of this because I don't go up to Chicago that much anymore. Right. So needless to say, I went up there and I stayed there a week trying to navigate. And then I had to bring her back. And that's been since February 5th. And yeah, she's been here since then.
Wow, this is so recent for you. I know it's really hard to juggle because it's a lot of different things that people don't realize. It's a lot of different things that you have to juggle. So, do you have any help?
I do, and let me say it right because I do have people that will come in and assist, but it's new to them too. So it's like we can try to help you where we can, but there's no like my sons suck, so, and I'm the only person by my mom. So I don't have a sibling to, maybe even be like, oh, I'll take her a month. You take her a month. I don't have that. So it's been friends. I do have a sister from my father's side. So she's helped my girlfriend's daughter, stuff like that. But like a support system to say, because everybody has a life and everybody has something going on. So yes and no to it. Yeah. Yes and no.
Okay. Have you reached out to the Alzheimer's Association or anything like that for some support, some information, or some care?
Not Alzheimer's, but as I've been going through everything, I've gotten connected with Empowerline, a Department of Aging. They've connected me to like getting these waivers like CCSP, stuff that I had never heard of because I just thought when you get old, you can go to assisted living, and then I had to learn that if you don't have no money, you're not going to assisted living. And then you can't do independent living. So then I'm like, what else is it? Then I go to these nursing homes and I start hearing the criteria for that. Then now I'm hearing about personal care homes because what this is teaching me is that I need more coverage than I have now because they kept asking me about, does she have long-term insurance? And I'm like, no, so those things that could have potentially put her in a better position, she didn't have.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So you didn't know anything. That's similar to my story. I knew nothing when my mom had Alzheimer's. I didn't even recognize Alzheimer's, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything. And you don't know where to go. You don't know, who to find out information from. And with the living thing, I went through the same thing. You know, I was like, okay, well, they have a thing called assisted living. Oh, sure. And then when I did, it was so much money. And I was like, okay, we can't do that, and she wasn't really sick. She only had Alzheimer's. She didn't have any other sicknesses or anything like that. So it was hard to figure out where to put her and it was experience. So I definitely sympathize with you, especially being new to doing this. Now, how do you juggle, because you have other companies, like you're doing other things and you have other companies that you're working on. So how hard is that to juggle?
Extremely. And it's a daily roller coaster, and you have a good day, and then, and then the rest of them are like all over the place. And because I work from home or I'm on the go, this has been a big challenge, because now you can't just say, oh, I can meet you Wednesday at 3, because now I have like a child that I have to make sure that she's taken care of and stuff. And here's the thing, she's like borderline between this, not sick, not all the way dementia, feisty as I don't know what, but still needs someone to be around all the time. And I'm like, it's almost like if she was all the way Alzheimer's, you like, she's not going to remember. Let me put her somewhere nice. And then when the doctors come, oh my God, you should see this. So she'll say something like, oh, my chest is, and I go, oh, you want a, pain pill or something like that. And then the nurses come, or the occupational therapist, and then they go, how you doing today? I'm fine. Yahweh got me and stuff like that. I can do anything you can do. And I'm sitting there like, is this the same person? I said, Mom, well, didn't you just say, because we want to make sure that they can help you? Well, I'm fine, Stacey. So it's a battle with everything. And it's like she's just in a weird place, because I got her cell phone. She called my sister. Hey, come get me. I want to come. And I'm like, so what I've learned is there's manipulation, there's aggression, and then there's the straight out, you forget, So I'm navigating through what's real and what's forgetful, not taking things personal, not being triggered. Because you talk about the childhood, because that makes a difference when you're caregiving. If you've had a really great relationship with your mom, it's probably a little bit easier. If you didn't have really a good relationship or one at all, and then now you find yourself in this position, it's almost like, God, what did I do? Why do I have to do this? So I look at everything and I'm learning it so fast and on the fly, like how you're saying it. It's like I didn't have time to prepare a little bit. I didn't say, oh yeah, she has some dementia. Let me look for a place here for her to come. I didn't do that. It was like, she got to come and stay with you. And it's just been very, very challenging. And even to this day, I'm like up and down like a roller coaster on, am I going to put her in a personal care home? Okay, maybe I can keep her, but then who's going to watch her when I have to do this? And so it's a lot.
Okay, so right now she's living with you. And you haven't decided on a place for her.
Yeah.
That she can go. Okay. So I know that especially with the Department of Aging, well, I'm in New York, but the Department of Aging, they have caregivers support. So you can possibly get some caregiver support. Don't forget about you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's stressful for you. The person is going through it, but you're going through it too. So if you can get some kind of support, they also have respite. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've been learning it all, the respites and all that. And then I think those are really good things to have. The challenge that I'll wait until I'm encountering that to be up is because when I say she's feisty, like she, has her moments, but she's really feisty. So when they told me about adult daycare, I was thinking, she is not going to adult daycare. Like as soon as I pull up and go, hey Mom, I need to make some runs, you stay here, she probably gonna cuss me out and the people before she get in there. Okay. So I haven't done it, but because I know who I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying? That's to me a challenge. The respite care is kind of the same thing. I visited this place that says she can come here for $200 a night, and really nice place. But I'm thinking she's not going to want to stay here, and I know it's between, you don't really have a choice, but the repercussion of that, because she is feisty, could be like, oh no, we're not going to keep her because she's feisty. you know?
Yeah.
So I try to take my time that I can when I can. But again, for me, the biggest component is I need to work. I need to create. I need to do the things that I need to do because now I'm financially, in a sense, responsible for you because you don't really have, like, we don't have it like, well, she gets $10,000 a month. We could do this. It's not that. So I'm feeling like a mom again, where I'm providing for two people, myself, like my kids out of the house now. I'm a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. And then this happens.
Wow.
So I get people go, ooh, there's a lesson and a blessing. And I'm like, I get that. And I know everything will be fine eventually. But right now, in the midst of it, there's times where I can't find my way out, you know?
Okay. Now you have to meet them where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not the same. She's not the same person that she was. She doesn't, do the same things. And they change from day to day. Also, you might want to try the adult daycare, see what happens. Because sometimes when they see people around them, their age, the adult daycare center is trained to deal with them. If it's one that deals with memory loss. Okay, that's important. So maybe, just see what happens,
Yeah, I said I was going to try it. Yeah. I said I would try it. I just, when they told me about it, I was like, let's keep it real. Even that's a lot, because that means that depending on what my schedule is, now I got to get up extra early because I have to get you together and stuff. So again, just wrapping your mind around all of it first, because when it happens, it's like, I don't know. But now, it's slowly like I'm learning to take one thing at a time. And so how can I incorporate that in my schedule? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow. You're bringing back so much to me, just trying to figure out what they could do. And she may go for, a week or two. And then after that, she may not want to go, you just never.
Yeah, but she already is like, because we kind of played around with talking about it. And she was like, I don't want to be around no old people in wheelchairs and stuff and this and that. And I'm thinking, oh, you are killing me. Because even when I went to a nursing home to just visit, and it was like everybody that I had seen on that side, they were all in wheelchairs. Some of them looked comatose. Some of them just was sitting there. And I was like, she still, like, if you come and talk to her, she gonna sit there and she gonna have what I give her a little mocktail, right? She thinks she be having wine. I be giving her mocktail. She sit there with her glass and she be talking, and she talks about the old days. And so I know she wants to be stimulated. So if you put her in an environment that they're not other active, that's where the problem could come in. But I'm definitely, with trying some different things because I have to work.
You have to do something. Wow. So is there any times where you try to keep the familiar and the normalcy? Like if she likes to dance, do you, take her somewhere to dance? Or do you, if she plays a movie, do you try to do something that brings her back?
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is that, her older life, she didn't really do anything. Like her younger life, she was the life of the party. She was doing everything. But as she got older, she was just really at home. She would go downstairs because she lived in a high-rise building. So she would go downstairs, talk to the neighbors and upstairs. So what I do is I take her out, and you could tell sometimes she's like, where we going? And I take her out all day like a kid to wear her down. And do her hair and stuff like that. She's not a moviegoer. So some of the things that you would be, those aren't her things. So the things that she do like, which is we'll go visit my sister. We'll go grab something to eat. We went and got our feet done the other day. I'll do some, activities with her that way. But yeah, I used to have my dad, and it was just so much. It was different. Like, really? I wouldn't say I was a caregiver for him. He stayed with me. And although he was older, I'm a daddy's girl. So he didn't have dementia. He was just older. So we danced, we stepped, we did everything together. And so now it's a different dynamic, because there's not the closeness there, but also she can be mobile, she can walk and all that stuff, but she can say, hey, I'm ready to go home. I don't really want to do. I'm an old lady now. I just want to watch TV. And that's why where we are now, you don't have a room. You're in my living room. So I know that's a big adjustment because you don't have your own space. So yeah, I try to keep her, like when I get up and get dressed, like, we're going to make a run. She'd be like, well, wait a minute, I don't want to. But then once I get her dressed, then, she's out the door with me.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody or any of your friends that are going through same thing that you're going through?
I've met a lot of people now, but as far as family, my cousin was just going through it, and my aunt passed right when I got my mother, her sister. So all this happened at one time. So she just went through it. She has another sister that had Alzheimer's. So now I'm like, I really need to check my brain and just see if this is something hereditary. But my cousin just went through it. She was caregiving for her mom for like 4 years. And then she passed on February 10th, which my mother must have saw it because she said it the day before she died that she died. But she said it was me. She used my name. She said, my sister, Stacey, just passed away and I'm okay. She ain't in no pain no more. Next day, my aunt died.
Wow.
So I've gotten some, and then I have a cousin that went through it. So family wise, they're like, little cousin, we got you, and just kind of walking me through things that they've been through or whatever. But one thing that, everybody says, of course, is make sure you point into you, and whatever your decision is, you have to make the best decision for you both. But definitely, because some people don't like to talk about nursing homes and personal care homes and stuff.
Right.
Doesn't mean you can't still be involved, but if, you have to look at your situation as a whole, can you really take care of this person, financially, physically, mentally, all that kind of stuff. So that I've had the family support, emotional support, but I'm from Chicago and I live in Atlanta now. So I have some family here, but not a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, it's really difficult. It's really, especially in the beginning, it's really difficult, and you're going to feel the stress of all kinds of different things. Going to be pulling you different ways, but you have to try to somehow remember to do things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't lose your mind, you don't lose your way. Because if you're sick, you're not okay, then how are you going to help her?
Exactly.
And research the nursing homes. If you have, research them. They're all different. Research them. It's not like a cookie cutter thing. Trust me, they're all different. So research them for what you need for her. How is her health now? How is her health?
She has the the COPD and stuff like that, and it's not horrible. She don't have a hole in her neck. She does have oxygen because she gets winded on certain things. Like I'm on the second floor, so you have to come up the 18 stairs. So that I'll give her oxygen. Sometimes she could be a little winded from taking, after getting out the tub, but she doesn't have to be on it continuously. So that's why I say it's in a fine line, because if you see her, she walking, she doing that. But I know I have the little oxygen thing I put on her hand to kind of gauge if she needs air or not. So yeah, it's just a really tripped out place because she's like not all the way gone, and then it's like, but you're not all the way there,
Right.
So
Right. So what would you say to someone who has an aging parent? Maybe they're going through, maybe they're not going through yet. But what message would you give to someone with an aging parent?
I would absolutely, because I'm thinking of creating something for my kids. It's because when especially if you don't have a relationship like that, so you're not having the conversations about death or insurance policies and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes we don't want to talk about that because it's morbid.
Right.
You need to talk about it. You need to know what they have as far as insurance, long-term insurance, because you don't want to be hit at the last minute with, oops, she don't have this. Like, I'm looking at her insurance policy like, it's going to barely bury you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So make sure that you're having these conversations, especially if they're, dementia forward, and you can have these conversations to know, because like now talking to her about certain things is like, why bother? I had just got into like her insurance policy right before this happened, but now I'm like, do you have a plot? Because some like my aunts and them, they had plans. So you didn't have that. You didn't have long-term insurance. You didn't have Medicaid Part A. It's just whatever it is now. If you have an aging parent, look into those things now. How's their insurance? Do they have long-term insurance? Do they have Part A and B? There's programs like CCSP waivers for people that don't have money and need to find things like a personal care home, because there are different levels. There's assisted living, independent living, nursing home, rehabilitation, and personal care home. And I don't want to say personal care home is the bottom of the barrel, but what I will say it is, in a sense, because it's someone that was gracious enough to open up their home and have people in their home. And that might work for some people, but I would prefer to have her in a good facility, but a facility instead of someone's home. Yeah. So those are the things I think are just really important to start finding out what kind of financial or insurance support do they have, especially if you're not rich, you know what I'm saying, where you can be like, I'm gonna get her a room and I'm gonna have the nurse come in, I'm gonna have this kind of, support for her. Find out these things now. Find out about, how they want to go. Do they want to be buried, cremated, all these things before they don't remember.
Right. So are you talking to your children about this for you?
Oh, they're going to get a Caregiving for Dummies. They get a Caregiving for Dummies book, because I'm between now, this is the experience for me that I am learning, is I don't want to be a burden on them. I get that it's like, I'm your mother. I do want you to look out for me. I don't want you to lose your life from me, because anybody can pass at any moment, but I'm closer than they are, in a sense, if you go that way. Yeah. So I've met caregivers now that started in their 20s and 30s, and you think about your prime and then having to do that. So I want to make sure I'm set up properly, and then that my wishes is like, hey, I'm a little sick where I can call and have them come to my home and take care of me. That's my first choice. Second choice is assisted living or independent living. Third choice is this. Let me make sure I get long-term insurance. I have insurance now, but I don't have long-term. So let me put those things in place. Let me share this information with them. Let me put it somewhere digitally or paper copies or whatever, so they know. I want to have those conversations now, because we don't know what will happen in the next 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. One thing's for sure, I got more years behind me than I do in front of me. So I just believe, if you have these hard conversations as parents, if you're still healthy, get yourself together. I don't want my kids raising no GoFundMe for me. And I understand that if you're healthy and able, take care of your stuff yourself. GoFundMe is, to me, when something does happen and you are just backed up against the wall and you do need help, and maybe you can do it with family. But if you are healthy now and you can make these decisions and put these in things play, don't do that to your kids. Don't do it to them. It's a good thing for them to be supportive, because we raised them, and it's like, oh, you should be doing it for me. But if you don't even have, it's one thing to be able to take care of me and be like, and I have the financial ability for you to do it, versus I don't have nothing. Right. And now you got to go do it. So if you work in a job and you like, this is good for me and my family, now you have to add a second job on, because you don't have the financial capability of taking care of another adult.
That's a good message. Good message. I just, so glad that you're able to share your story, because I'm sure so many people are going through, and it's so hard, especially in the beginning. So thank you for being open and honest about your story. I know that you do other things, and you kind of have to juggle that, juggle skincare line, things like that. So I'm sure that that's a lot for you to do. Just if at any time when you can seek help, caregiver support.
I'm very verbal, so I don't have a problem with that. When I was saying earlier about normalizing stuff, because I'm not saying people, make it like it's all beautiful, but I get people always, I'm gonna pray for you. I appreciate prayers, but I know people sometimes ask for different support. Hey, can you look up this for me? Do you know any programs? It's not always, prayer is great. Right. I'm saying sometimes people need help in the form of, if it's support, can you come watch her? Or, if there's any programs out there, do you mind Googling for me? Because I'm so inundated with her, I haven't gotten a chance to go look for those things. It's not people like, it's a blessing you get to take care of your mother. And I'm saying sometimes you don't know what a person is going through with that parent or have. So I like to be considerate and sensitive of that, because if you've had not such a great upbringing, some of the stuff happens are triggers. So now you got to be like, oh, I'm being triggered back to 17 years old or whatever. So now, it's like, go get you some counseling, go do this and that for yourself. Because I'm always a person that believes in taking care of myself. However, we just have to be able to be honest with people, and tell them what you need. You know what I'm saying? It's not always money. It's not always money. So, find out what it is you need. Because when I talk to other caregivers, and I'm learning so much from people that have done it before me, but people that's getting into it like me, and they like me, they pulling their hair out in a sense. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, people just keep going, it'll be fine, it'll get easy, and it's all that. And it's like, sometimes that's not what you want to hear. I don't need you to get in with me like, oh yeah, I don't need that. But I definitely will you just want someone to understand.
Right.
You just want them to understand or hear you out. Maybe I'm just venting and now I can go back and do what I need to do. But this is not peaches and cream for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You're giving such a powerful message. You really are. There's so many steps to this thing.
Yeah.
And you learn as you go.
Yeah.
And you make the best decision on what information you have at the time.
And you know what? It's okay to not want to do it. I'm going to take care of this lady. Absolutely. Because I know I'm supposed to. I don't want to. I'm going to be honest. That's what I'm saying about being real. If you had a choice, if someone said, you want to take care of your mother for, or whatever, I don't see, you have some people that would go, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But who wants to do that? Especially when you're getting to a place where I just got nest free. I'm like, oh, I'm about to enjoy the second half of my life, and then it was brought to, so will I do what I need to do? Absolutely. I'm going to pull out all the stops. You're not going to do nothing to my mama. Hey, I'm going to be there, but yeah, no, I don't enjoy it. And that every day, and then you get cussed out because think about the people that will cuss you out. So, I hear you there talking and then talking on the phone like, yeah, this. And I'm like, wow. So here's the thing. I can get a little upset, my feelings hurt, and then that it's the dementia-ish, because that's who you were when I was younger. So that's what I mean about the triggers.
Oh, okay.
Behavior is the same as it was then. It could be a trigger for an adult. You know what I'm saying? So now you like, okay, now I gotta wipe away that she's talking about me like this because she has dementia. She doesn't know what she's saying, but for me, my mother does. She doesn't know something I'm saying. So now you're asking caregivers, oh, don't worry about that. She's old. Oh, don't do that. And put your feelings aside and not understand how that can affect you with your self-esteem, with your confidence, with anything that you're doing. So yeah, getting the support you need, talking to a therapist or someone, a good friend, a family member is definitely necessary. But let's talk about it because it's not easy, and it's not easy from an upbringing standpoint. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling on, but
it's okay. It's okay because you bring so many points. One of the points is, trying not to take it personal, but it's hard. Like you said, if you have history with the person that's not always positive, some things you take personal, and it may hurt your feelings, and you're doing all this work, and you feel like you're not appreciated at some point. So it's a difficult thing to do, but I wish you the best.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Keep that positive attitude, but know that when you are overwhelmed, step back.
Mm-hmm.
Step back. She'll be okay. Step back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw that. Let me say this there because I remember that's what I found out. The manipulation, right? So when she got here, she was a little sicker, so I was doing everything. And so, the tub, because, my house is not set up for that. So I'm helping her in the tub, helping her out. Then the occupational therapist comes, so let me see how you maneuver in the tub, the toilet, things of that nature. Oh, girl, she did it just like me and you did. And she mad about it. I know what y'all trying to do, but let me show you. I said, oh, we can do that, right?
Uh-huh.
She made me mad one day so bad. I went there, ran a little bath water because I always run it and I put her little clothes in there. I put a little towel in there. That lady got in that tub, took that bath, got out and put on her clothes. And I said, okay. That's how we're going to move now. You know what I'm saying? If you need me, I'm there. But if we're trying to create a new norm and you can actually do this now when I move, because I'm in the process of moving, which makes things even more complicated, then yes, I'll make sure this place has the little pole on the wall, the extra pole and stuff. I'll do all that because I don't want to take away all our independence, because that's the thing. She's like, I still, and I'm like, well, you can't cook. Stop lying. Because she be telling the doctor, I cook, I clean. I'm thinking, where? So I get that's not wanting to let your independence go. So, but what you can do independently, I don't want to take that from you. So I'll, let you do some of those things, and then I'll continue to do the things that I know, like, let me get her, or let me comb her hair and stuff like that. So it's like finding that balance. So that's why I'm like, you're not going to be playing me, little lady. I got you now. You know how to take a bath. Are you ready? Let me go run your water for you. So it has its points where, I feel blessed that I am able to do it, because I'm thinking, how are you doing it? But the blessing parts are in there. So me ranting is just how I feel. Me doing, I'm always going to make sure she's good.
Right. Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that you are stepping up to the challenge. Like you said, some people won't, whether it's their mother or the father, some people will not do it, and I'm glad that you're able to, right now you feel that you're able to do it, and you're kind of looking at stuff which is going to make it better, whether she lives someplace else or lives with you. So
yeah.
So that's good. And you see every step that you take, see how it works. Some things will work for you. Some things won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to see how it works. Take a chance, see what happens, see how it works. She's going to be okay. You got her, but she's different now. So you don't know what she's going to respond to and what she's not going to respond to. Because she's different now. So, but I thank you so much. I thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing a candid story and being very honest and open, because definitely, somebody needs to hear this. They need to hear this, because you feel alone, sometimes, it just feels like, nobody understands, especially if you have nobody around, like your friends are not going through this and stuff like that. You feel like, oh my God, like, why me? Yeah. So I definitely understand. And I thank you so much. And Stacey, I just want you to have the best in your life and your future, and just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. Okay. And I'm going to check back with you and see how you're doing. Okay.
Okay. I love that.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.